Alright, welcome aboard for another episode of Geekin Out here. You may notice sitting there in front of Chris something very particular. I happen to be out and about wandering around and happened to find out at Target a special edition of Stranger Things Season 1. And I saw it and thought, well, Chris might like to have an early birthday present. So I'm going to let him tell you about what he's seen on this thing so far.
Alright, so, if you're a big fan of Stranger Things, which if you're not,
shame on you.
Suck. Anyway, Stranger Things, of course, is a spectacular TV series on Netflix. And we are going to, first of all, I'm going to show you everything that this has. And we're going to try to give one away. That's right.
Yeah, that's this one right here. See, I didn't just find one, I found two.
Two.
So one for him and one for one of you.
Yes.
So go ahead and tell him what's in it.
First of all, it's made to look like an old VHS tape. And if you don't know what VHS is, come on, people, work with me. This is freaking amazing. As you can tell, just like a VHS, old VHS. And inside, you'll see, it looks like a regular videotape. It even says, please be kind, rewind on there. But if you open it up, you will have a marvelous set of DVDs and Blu-ray. Look at that. Great design. Not too bad. Old style. It comes with a poster of Demi Gordon. Very artsy. Not too bad. Should I show the poster?
You can go ahead and show it.
I'll show the poster.
Why
not?
Why not? Anyway, while he's trying to figure out how to unfold a poster and show it to you right side up, this will take a while because, trust me, he didn't get it right earlier. There he goes. He got it right on the first try.
As you can see, the artwork is, of course, the monsters that live in the upside down world. And if you can barely make it out, but it has Stranger Things written out right here. Pretty damn amazing.
Oh, by the way, if you haven't seen Season 1 of Stranger Things yet, spoilers!
Lots of spoilers.
So anyway, now this was a special Target exclusive edition that actually I managed to find on Closeout. So we weren't provided any copies from Netflix or from Target or anybody else. I just found these for $4 a piece on clearance, and I got the last two. So like I said, one for the goof and one for you.
So how can you win one of these?
Here's how you're going to do it, okay?
Yeah.
What we're going to do is we're going to give one of these away at random. We're going to look at the commenters for this week's video and make sure your contact info is valid, by the way. I just need an email address connected to your commenter's account that you're actually going to get the email from us. That way I can find out where I need to send this to you if you're selected. What we'll do is on next week's episode, I'll have a little bowl right here. We're going to draw one name out, and that commenter is going to win this. Yes. What I'd like you to do, you don't have to do anything, just simply leaving any kind of comment like I'm here or whatever. But speaking of Netflix is talking about adding a randomizer button to their TV show pages. So if you want to watch a show but you don't have a particular episode you want to see, you'd be able to click this random button and you'd be able to see a random episode of the show you're on.
Which I think that's actually a really great idea. It helps because there's certain times when I just run out of things to watch and I'm sitting there trying to figure out what interests me, what can I see to literally just like get into the film I need until the second or third whatever season of whatever it was I was watching comes back on. So it does work out great for all you Netflix people out there who loves it.
By the way, I did see in a related article, and there's a clickbait website called TechCrunch out there, and some of you know who they are. TechCrunch is suggesting a new concept for Netflix to try. This is their brilliant idea, channels. Yes, so you would go onto Netflix, and on your main page you would see essentially a curated list of comedy TV shows, comedy movies, dramas, historical things, science fiction, yeah. But it would be somebody else picking the things for you to watch. That innovation, I could have sworn, has been around for a while. Didn't it used to be called television or something?
It's been around for a very long time, honestly. And also, you can't even, even on YouTube. You get on YouTube and you just, if there's a video that says, oh, I want to check this out, you check it out, and then all of a sudden you get nothing but a bunch of videos that is related to that one thing. And you don't ask for it, you don't want it. But it just knows that, oh, you looked at this. Look at these two. So, you get a bunch of concepts like that through TV. It's everywhere now. So, this is not really much of a big surprise. But
so, in short, Netflix, randomizer button, good. Channels, bad. And TechCrunch, worse. Okay. Before we move too far, in the opening, I gave a little tribute to a couple of big manga creators who passed away in the past week. First off, Monkey Punch. He's the creator of Lupin 3, I should say. He died of pneumonia back on April 11th. His Lupin 3 has been in 2 films, several TV shows, animated specials, video games, a musical. He passed away at the age of 81. We also lost Kazuo Koike. I hope I'm getting that name right because I'm not big on Japanese pronunciations. He was the writer of Lone Wolf and Cub. He's a very rare type of talent in manga who is just strictly a writer. Most manga creators are cartoonists. They handle the writing and the art. He was just a writer. He did Lone Wolf and Cub, a series called Crying Freeman, and Lady Snowblood. Lady Snowblood is famous because the anime adaptation served as the inspiration for Quentin Tarantino's Kill Bill movies.
yes, great stuff. Check that stuff. Check these people out. They got some great stuff out there. Well worth it.
So Monkey Punch dead at 81, Kazuo Koike dead at age 82. And if you do get a chance to check out any of the 28 volumes of Lone Wolf and Cub, please, by all means, do so. It's an excellent read. Other things in the news, real quick. PlayStation 5, information leaking about it online. PlayStation 5, $500. For that, it's supposed to be backward compatible, 2 terabyte hard drive, 8K upscaling on video, a DualShock 5 controller with built-in camera, and VR compatibility, all this coming in 2020. What do you say to that?
I am excited. Why? Because it's freaking awesome. I mean, come on. It's amazing. I'm ready for it.
He's ready.
$500.
I have not owned a console since the Wii that I got back in 2007. So you're going to have to listen to him on that. Or apparently our new Goombas over at a channel called Noobs with Boobs.
Noobs with boobs.
There's a couple of ladies over there that you might want to look into if you're over the age of consent, because they get a little raunchy. So,
yeah, they're raunchy. They're
nasty,
horrible.
filthy minded.
Yeah,
oh my goodness, right in the gutter.
And the worst part is that they are going to be a guest appearance on our show here soon. Next?
You know what? Hold it. Don't look at it. Okay, from me. I'm begging you, please don't watch their channel. Don't subscribe. Don't give them the views. Just don't. Okay?
Yes.
Guaranteed. If you think that I'm not speaking enough on this channel, please listen to me. Don't give them the time of day.
Yes.
Okay?
Dude, I mean, the things that they say about Mario, oh my goodness. It's horrible.
So.
Horrible.
So make sure you're not looking for the Super Nintendo controller holding up the bra, okay? Back to the real world. All right, I just want to do this real quick hit. Psych the Movie 2's coming up.
Yes!
Sometime later this year. This one is actually going to have the guy who plays Lassie in it, and it's going to center more around him. They've just added Joel McHale and Jimmy Simpson, the guy who played Mary Golightly. For psychos out there like me and The Beloved Wife and this one,
And me.
then
Pineapple.
that's an excellent thing. For the rest of you,
And it has Zachary Levi's also supposed to be making a special appearance on it.
but I'm going to watch it anyway. So
Shazam, Zachary Levi, you know.
yeah,
That's
who
great.
watches that?
And
Anyway,
you guys need to watch Psych. Okay, Psych is amazing. It is a great show. Look Psych up. It is fantastic. I love that show.
I gotta admit, I'm a psycho now. I used to not care for it because, I mean, let's face it, it's a ripoff of The Mentalist. But hey, what do I know? Moving on.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm going to get him to quit this show yet. Moving on. This one I want to spend a little more time on. The Stars Movie Channel recently got themselves into a little bit of hot water online. They apologized for a DMCA, Digital Millennium Copyright Act, the bane of everybody online. They did a takedown of a news article on a website called Torrent Freak, which is dedicated to BitTorrents. You know what that is?
I have no idea.
Correct answer. Torrent Freak was doing an article about episodes that haven't reached the air yet that are being leaked online by people with a connection to the studios or the channels, including Star's show American Gods. Now, they didn't feature any links to the stolen files, even though Torrent Freak, you would think they would, but they don't. Okay, it's just about the using BitTorrent and peer-to-peer things. But Stars, seeing this article pop up, retained a company called The Social Element. And Social Element essentially filed a DMCA takedown lawsuit against Torrent Freak as well as Twitter to shut down the story and any links to the story. So Torrent Freak got a DMCA violation notice, which is essentially a do that again, we're going to knock you offline.
No.
Twitter also took down any tweets that linked to that article. Now, if that doesn't chill you to your BVDs, this raised a big enough stink. But then Torrent Freak, after getting their takedown notice, they had to take down the article, and they put up another article explaining why it got taken down. And then they got a lawsuit from the Social Element on behalf of Stars saying they had to take that down too because it also violated the DMCA. Now, this brings up a little something, if you've never heard of this, called the Streisand effect. Essentially, years ago, Barbara Streisand, quick backstory. Barbara Streisand decided, in her infinite wisdom, she didn't want anybody looking at her house. Okay? Nobody could take pictures of her house. Somebody managed to get an aerial view of her house. I don't know how they did it, because this is back just before drones hit. And managed to get an aerial view of her house, and they posted it online. Okay? Streisand did not like that. She had her lawyers take down that picture. Well, news started getting around that the picture was offline. The people who had seen it and copied it decided they were going to repaste it on their accounts. And so Streisand and her lawyer decided to go to all these other people who posted pictures of copies of the picture, demanding it be taken down. So what they did was they took it down off of their accounts and they sent it to some of their friends saying Streisand doesn't want you to see it. So they posted it to theirs. And pretty soon it was spreading like wildfire all across the interwebs. Next thing you know, people who had no desire whatsoever to see Barbara Streisand's house just had to click to see Barbara Streisand's house. So the more you try to shut down something online, the more likely it is people are going to want to see it. People on the interwebs want to see things they think they're not allowed to see. That's called the Streisand effect. As a result, Torrent Freak is seeing their web traffic jump, and guess how many of them might be installing BitTorrent clients in order to watch unaired episodes of American Gods, Chris? That's right, all of them. Congratulations, stars. Welcome to Hollywood. So, we've got this waiting for you.
Yes, remember, you guys got this wonderful thing. It's really awesome. And if you're a big fan of Stranger Things, well worth it. Well worth it.
And what did that tell you about him getting it right side up? Yep.
No, it.
Oh. Yeah, that's right.
I mean,
Anyway. Anything you want to talk about before we head out the door? Besides destroying the props. Now remember, there's no purchase involved in this. This is not sponsored or affiliated with Netflix or Target in any way, so leave me alone. Okay?
If you're a fan or you're a new fan to us, then help us help you.
Help us
Help
help
us
you.
help you.
Help us help you. Help us help you. Leave a comment down underneath, and just so we know you're watching, you can leave us a comment on anything you'd like. If you need a suggestion, let us know whether you're going to use Netflix's new rewind feature on Android, which is where they're rolling that out to start.
Some upcoming stuff that we got going on. Of course, we got some guests that will be coming sometime soon, and also check us out next weekend for our movie review on Endgame, Avengers Endgame.
Oh yeah, when is that coming up?
The 26th. Something like that.
Threw him for a loop. Threw him for a loop. Yeah, by the way, that's coming up this next weekend. I think Shazam is just now hitting the $100 million mark. So,
As which it should.
which I know it doesn't sound like gangbusters compared to Captain Marvel or any of these other superhero shows that are out there. But for a show that has gotten very little publicity, was made for a very small amount of money for a major studio, it's doing all right. It's turned quite profitable, and there will be a Black Adam film. We talked about that last week. So there will be more down the road. But
Which I'm way excited for, because I mean, I'm just now getting it. I've read. I'm not a total fan of Shazam because I don't know everything that there is, but the movie made me really interested in this world, so I'm just now getting into it. But I'm excited for anything that they got. As for Endgame, I don't know what's going to happen. Everybody has their own predictions, and there's also a lot of spoilers out there. Apparently, there was a spoiler leaked from a scene in the movie.
La 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 la.
Yeah, don't
La
try,
la la.
try to
La
stay away
la
from
la
that.
la la.
Plus, not
La
to
la
mention.
la. La la.
Plus, not
La
to
la
mention.
la.
There's. I don't know why they say that there is
La la la.
things being leaked
La
from the
la
movie,
la la
because
la
the Russos
la
have pretty much
La
said that
la
it's
la 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 la.
Oh, I heard-
La la
annoying.
la. You done?
No, I'm not.
No.
The Russo brothers have already done interviews, and they lie in their interviews. They're not giving any spoilers. And some of the trailers that you actually see for the movie, apparently a lot of them are actually fake. That's not even going to be in the movie. They did it to mess with your minds. So don't pay attention to anything you hear or see when it comes to Avengers Endgame, because they had that issue last week where a big thing was leaked out and everybody's like, oh my gosh. But again, you don't know if it's real or not. So don't bug out. Don't listen to any spoilers or nothing. Listen to us when the movie comes out.
Okay, I got two things to add to Avengers Endgame. Okay, one, I'm taking my eyes off. One, am I the only one who's really, really getting tired of this crap? I mean, am I the only one who's getting Avengers fatigue here? Okay, this is probably going to be Chris Evans' last turn as Captain America, okay? I love Captain America.
And Robert Downey Jr.
Huge fan of Captain America. Yeah, and Robert Downey Jr., remember him? We really need to sit down and discuss Robert Downey Jr. one of these days.
Speaking of...
Folks, most of you watching this episode do not know what a joke Robert Downey used to be. Yeah, or what a joke Iron Man used to be.
That's true. He used to be a real big guy. But anyway, speaking of Robert Downey Jr., there's some news on that too. Apparently they got reshoots, which might be causing a little bit of a problem for his next movie, which is Dr. Dolittle. Yes, Robert Downey Jr. is playing Dr. Dolittle.
Can't be worse than Eddie Murphy.
Well, this is actually supposed to go old school, like the old classic movies when they had like the big gigantic snail and all this stuff, you know, kind of like an imaginary.
That reminds me, how was your 420 yesterday?
My 420?
Mm-hmm.
I spent it with some great people. No weed was involved, if that's what you're asking.
Okay, because we're recording this, you see, on April 21st. So for all the believers out there, happy Easter. For all the rest of you, happy Random Drug Test Day.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
Weed's not that bad.
You haven't tried to pull them from a lawn, have you?
Hey. But anyway, we got some great, exciting things coming up again. You know, Endgame coming up. Yes. We're going to be doing some movie stuff. Well, of course, we always do movies and comic books, but we got other things going on. Now, I know we're called Geeking Out, but it's time to get some real world. Apparently, the very famous Notre Dame caught on fire.
Yeah.
And it's a big historical landmark that has been around for how many years?
Exactly. It's been around for about roughly 700 years.
Yes.
Okay. We don't usually get political on this show. I'm thinking about changing that. We're just going off on my own. Maybe doing a political tangent.
I think we should just to add a little bit more flavor in there in the real world and just
Yeah.
I think
there's some. Look, what happened in Notre Dame was a tragic accident. Okay, now fortunately most of the artwork was preserved. Most of the historical parts were preserved. The stonework was largely preserved. Mostly the woodwork was gone. Okay. The three biggest things I've heard about Notre Dame since then is one, we should rebuild it, but it shouldn't be too Christian-y. Two, why are so many people donating money to rebuild it when there are people not making living wages? And why are people donating so much to rebuild it when there are black churches burning in America that haven't been rebuilt? Okay, shut up.
yes.
Stop it. Stop doing that. Stop being the jerks you are. At least pretend you have empathy for a week or so, okay?
Yes.
I'm just speaking on behalf of myself, and apparently him. Just knock it off. Leave your political baggage over on the side of the pretentiousness highway, as the bard once said. Just focus on the fact that we need to do the rebuilding because Notre Dame is more than a cathedral. It is a national historical importance for France.
Yes.
It's been a rallying point for them for years and deserves the support it's got.
Yes, and it is already, I believe, it probably went up some, but I think it hit like 300,000 or 300 million. I'm not really for sure exactly, but that's how much money was raised.
They're up to $1 billion.
Oh, they're up to, well, then it was, okay. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know how much it will actually cost to...
Not $1 billion.
Store it, but...
Rest assured, there's going to be some leftovers. There always is whenever there's... Look, you can depend on Christianity for one thing, okay? Whether it's Catholicism, Protestantism, whatever. If it's Christian, there tends to be one response to a disaster. A bunch of people come pouring out of the woodwork, donating $10 here, $20 here. The ones who can give more. And they wind up with making this huge response that winds up not just helping address the problem that initially occurred, but suddenly there's a bunch of leftover money to help other people in need, which quite frankly is not a bad thing. So probably not going to need $1 billion to rebuild the Notre Dame Cathedral. So hopefully whatever money is left will go to help the people in France who actually need help too. So
Yeah, and going off what you said about how people are like literally turning this into a huge political thing where it's like, oh, raising this much money for this when we got all these other problems. Come on, guys. It's like, I mean, anybody could do it. You can donate money to anything, but people want to sit there and bitch and gripe about how, oh, the world's falling apart because people don't care about this. Do something about it. You'd be amazed what one word would do. Or, you know, I mean, one word can raise the world or destroy it all in an instant. I mean, seriously, it can. You can do so many things to tribute in your own community. I mean, go if you want to build a church, go out there, buy some wood, build a church for people, uh, build homes. I mean, you can do so much if you really want to, instead of just sitting there on the couch and just bitching and moaning about something that you're not doing nothing about.
Mhm.
Just saying.
Okay, I'm gonna add one more thing. We'll start wrapping it up here. Add one more thing. Christians, there's this idea called tithing. Okay, this goes all the way back to Hebraic tithes. The idea is you should take 10% of your income and donate it to people who need help. Okay, maybe most people usually donate the 10% to the church, and then the people who run the church are the ones who figure out who needs the support, and that's what the money's going to support. So there's your goalpost. 10% of your income. It can be 10% of gross, 10% of net, whatever you want to do. 10%. Are you willing to give 10%? Okay. Are you willing to give 5%? Are you going to be like one of these politicians who like to sit here and mouth over and over and do their little glory shots and then donate something along the neighborhood of probably half of 1%?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know who you are.
I mean, that's all I mean, that's all it really takes is just, you know, taking control over your own life and helping others and helping yourself. I mean, instead of sitting there, if the government's not going to help you, then do it on your own. I know it might seem hard, but there's jobs out there, there's communities out there. Instead of wasting your money on drugs or something that you do not need, just saying, there's people out there.
Lottery.
That you could literally use that for other things that will help you, your family, or whatever out. So stop complaining all the time.
I'm impressed. That's an incredibly well thought out, mature thing for you to say.
What's the truth?
Good.
I mean, it's like I'm not going to depend. Look, I depend on my own life. If the government wants to do something stupid, yeah, it's stupid. But it does not, unless they take away my job. Like, you know, people are afraid, oh, Mexicans are going to take everybody's job.
I thought the Japanese were taking everybody's jobs.
Yeah.
Oh wait, that's the Chinese now are taking everybody's jobs.
Yeah, somebody's taking somebody's job. I mean, come on, I work my butt off. I do my best to pay my bills. Sometimes things go wrong, and I try to fix them the best I can, but I am in charge of my own world. I make my own damn decisions. I don't put blame on somebody else, or, you know, go out there and say, I need all of this, you know. I don't do that. I'm in charge of my own world. That's the only world I'm cared about, is my world. If somebody else needs help, and I can help them, I will help them. But I can't save the whole world. I can try. But if I save one person's world, that's enough for me. That's fine. So just be simple. That's the best thing I can literally say. I don't know how we got so damn deep, but
I don't know. But speaking of simple, knock knock.
oh,
Come on.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing
Yes,
it.
you are. Yes, you are. Knock knock.
Who's there?
To.
To who?
No, it's to whom.
I don't get
And
it.
on that note, have a great week. Support where you can.
To who?
Don't forget to leave a comment. See you next week.
Knock,
Big
knock.
balls.
To whom? I don't get it.
What a shock.